In the world of trading, one of the most important things that will allow you to achieve the desired profitability as quickly as possible is called process automation. After testing several strategies and modifying them to our liking, we are capable of obtaining results that help us make more money in the long term. In today's video, we are going to show you step by step a completely free indicator that provides the best entry and exit signals for each trend, and at the same time, we can program it to our liking and even automate it with a robot. Don't miss a second of this video because I'm sure it's going to help you improve your trading. Welcome to Game of Traders. And yes, as you can see, we have created a new Telegram community, completely free, where we will be posting all the updates about what's happening in the financial markets, as well as trading operations, analysis, and much more valuable content. You can find the link directly in the description. The first thing we have to do is go to the indicator section and search for the indicator called intraday Lance something. A little-known indicator despite its effectiveness, as you'll see. Only 100 people use it. Very few actually, for all the potential it has, as you'll see. It's just that it's quite new and very few people have started using it. To begin, we are on the BTC USDT chart in the 15-minute time frame, and as you can see on the right, a kind of small table appears, which, as you can see, shows us a type of backtesting where it gives us all the data and information from, in this case, July the 2nd, about 6 or 7 months ago. We can see that we've had a total of 110 trades where the win rate has been 60.91%, and at the bottom, it shows us the final profit, 9.17% on an initial deposit of €0. That is to say, right now, as of today, we have 1,092 total, meaning we've gained 92, for example. But of course, this is without configuring the indicator or optimizing it by combining it with other indicators that will also help us maximize that profit by avoiding many false signals. We will go through all of this step by step in this video. If we go to the settings section, you can see that this is one of the indicators with the most customizable options to adjust to our liking. We can even change the start date from which the small table on the right will run that back testing, giving us many options to calculate strategy results more easily, and also different predetermined strategies that we can choose from. For example, we have one on Solana on the 5-minute time frame, and as we can see in this specific asset, it still has a very high profit, but more importantly, with a win rate of over 83%. Crazy. Even if we switch to that 5-minute time frame, where this strategy is pre-programmed, we increase the profit to 8.26% and a win rate close to 80%. But if you notice at the very top, it tells us that this backtesting started on November 20th, approximately 2 months ago until today, and just in that time, it has managed to go from $1,000 of that initial deposit to 84.3. So if you only take into account these signals with the default settings, you would already be making money in the BTC USDT pair on the 15-minute time frame. As you can see, 8.68% profit. But what would happen if we went a bit further? If we chose more conservative long-term strategies, changing the different take-profit levels and the total percentage we collect from our trade. First, in the risk section, we'd have the percentage we want to risk from our initial deposit per trade. It's generally said that we shouldn't exceed 3% of our total capital per day for psychological reasons in trading and to avoid overtrading and trying to recover losses on a bad day, which would cause us to lose even more money. So by setting 1%, we would have up to 3 opportunities each day in case we lose the first trades. Even so, I recommend adjusting the risk percentage according to the time frame you're trading. For example, in this BTC USDT pair, if we are in the 15-minute time frame, the average number of trades would be about 1 per day. So we can even set that 3% daily risk since we're only going to make 1 trade in that day, and if it fails, we would wait for the next day. Still, if we want to be more conservative, I would set a 2% risk on the 15-minute time frame, which would give us a profit of 18.35%. Another one of the most important parts of this indicator is that we can configure all the different take profits for our trades. As I always say in the videos we upload to Game of Traders, the profit percentage you should take and the configuration of each of your take profits directly depends on the volatility of the asset you're trading. In the case of cryptocurrencies, which are highly volatile, I would set the first take profit between 60% and 70%. So let's put something in the middle, 65%, and then I'd leave, for example, 25% for the second take profit. Finally, we'd have 10% left for the third take profit. The indicator itself will automatically calculate the stop losses properly adjusted to the previous highs of the structures where these trades are happening. So all we have to do is calculate the take profits according to the strategy we're using, or even taking into account the ratios. For example, in this trade, with a stop loss of 1%, I would be looking for a first take profit at a 1.1 ratio and a second take profit at 1.5.1, for example, especially when trading more volatile assets. Of course, here on the left side, we'll have to set the percentage at which we want to activate that first take profit. And of course, if we had that first take profit at 1.5%, we'd collect 65% of the trade we set on the right side. And what's most interesting about all this is that automatically, based on the new values we've added to the indicator, the small table on the upper right has already received them and performed a back test with that new data, increasing the profit. You can see that in other structures, the stop loss is much further away. This is something completely automated and very convenient. We could set this first take profit at a 1.51 ratio, and in this case, collect 65% of our trade. Then the second take profit would be at 2%, where we'd collect 25%, and the last 10% would be collected at 2.5%. You can already see how convenient this indicator is, and the great advantage it can bring us in automating our trades both manually and by connecting it to a bot in the future. As I showed you in the previous video, which I'll also leave a card for in the top right corner, for those of you who want to learn step-by-step how to configure any strategy, like the one in this video, and automate it with a trading robot, you can do it in the simplest way from the PioNex platform, where we can directly configure this indicator step-by-step in bot form, and within the platform itself, it will automatically enter and exit based on the signals it gives us within the PioNex exchange. In other words, on the same platform, we'll create the bot with this strategy in a simple way, and it will start working, moving our money. That's why it becomes so convenient in the end. Those of you who already know how it works know it's very simple. In just a few minutes, you can have everything up and running. Plus, you can use PioNex GPT's AI, dedicated to the world of trading, where you can directly copy the indicator code we just saw in TradingView and ask it to create a strategy to connect automatically. As I said, you have everything step-by-step in the previous video, and the link to PioNex is in the description. We can simply ask it to create a strategy based on this indicator. We just need to give it the source code, copy all of this, paste it into PioNex GPT, and ask it to make the strategy to connect to the exchange. But of course, we can't stop there. In the end, we always want to maximize our profits by optimizing our strategies with the least risk possible. And this is something that this indicator does almost automatically because by testing different combinations in the take profits, we can get the back-testing data directly in the table on the right. This indicator shocked bot for Bitcoin in the 15-minute time frame. Being cryptocurrencies, remember they are very volatile assets, so our take profits should be a bit shorter, at least with a fairly high percentage to take profits quickly and not expose ourselves too much to the market. And to wrap up this video, I'm going to invite you to not only try this indicator with many different time frames and assets, but especially for those of you who trade 1.1, number 2 at 1.5.1, number 3 at 2.5.1, and take profit number 4 at 7%. In number 1, we'd already collect 50% of the trade. In number 2, 30%, and in 3 and 4, we'd leave 10%. This is one of the best combinations we've found in the long term for this asset and in this particular time frame. And it's better to hold on to this small but valuable piece of information to start using it. It's a very conservative setup adapted to the high volatility of cryptocurrencies, but it can also take full advantage of the trend if it happens, with that take profit number 4 being so far away. Another tip is that when you've already taken profits at take profit number 1, place your stop loss at break even, meaning at the start of your trade, so that if the trade reverses, you've already gained part of the profits and the second part will remain at break even. And below in the description, you have the direct link to our website, Dalgo Traders, where you can get the best indicators on the market for trading in Forex, cryptocurrencies, stocks, or any type of asset. Supported by artificial intelligence, these indicators are capable of adapting to market information and identifying the perfect entries for your trades on a daily basis. If you're not yet as profitable as you'd like to be, switch to Dialgo Traders Indicators and you'll be able to achieve it while trading any type of asset. Additionally, in our community, you'll be accompanied not only by our mentors and professional traders, but also by the more than 500 people who are already taking advantage of this opportunity.